Tonight we have a wonderful honor and the distinct pleasure of working with some dynamite folks that are global. I am a part of U.S. Africa Network. We are a coalition of social justice and human rights activists that are, again, global. We're intergenerational, multicultural. We're real diverse. We've got from teenagers to, we won't say how old. Many of us have been doing this work for many, many years. And we decided that there was a priority that had to be made on the continent of Africa. And about a year ago, we had a conference that was certainly diverse and well-attended and very much representative of the variety of countries and cultures in Africa. And this is the first endeavor that is, I guess, a global endeavor in this tour. And what I'd like to do is have Dr. Wiley come up, David Wiley, formerly the director of the Africa Center at Michigan State University, who has continuously over the last 40 years volunteered my time.
And a lot of people here, such as Akua, as the co-chair of the Trans-Africa organization here in Detroit, and many of the members of the Shrine of the Black Madonna, who came to Lansing to demonstrate in favor of divesting from stocks in South Africa. So we've got a good foundation in the past, but it's time to get the embers stoked once again and get the flames going with passion for these issues that our three guests today have brought to us and said, let's work together on climate justice that unites both of us in the changes we're seeing in our global that affects all of us, especially the poor at the bottom.
Struggles of environmental justice and climate justice, uniting the struggles of Detroit and the locations on the continent of Africa. I'm gonna need your help for this poem. When I say breathe in, I need you to say breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That's respiration. It's high time somebody writes rhymes for respiration. A desperate mess we're facing, a stressful situation. Breathe in, incinerator smoke, keep your own distance. Breathe out, doing shallow breath, choke on car emissions. Breathe, gas for breath. In urban passages, just to breathe can be a cancer threat. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now does the mayor not know where there ain't no street lights? Let's see, either pay the rent or the heat, right? We drive north and it ain't the same billboards, advertisers, eyesores, plus the liquor emporiums. Remind me what a grocery store is for again? We just got Whole Foods, but the meat does spoil again. What's the condition without good nutrition? What's an environment that children are dying in? What is the answer to cancer and asthma? What is our destination? We breathe, respiration indeed. We breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That's respiration. Thank you very much.
One of the things that we're really working on is creating a space where people can come together. And there's several different organizations that are here in addition to EMEAC. There's Fender Bender, there's EcoWorks, and then there's the UU Church that still meets here on Sundays. And there's the YEA that's meeting here, and there's a variety of groups that use this space and actually have it as office space. But just to tell you a little bit about EMEAC and why we exist, is that there is a real need for justice-based framing and articulation of ecological problems and solutions that really reflect the best hopes of the community and their families. One of the other things that we are a part of right now is the Climate Justice Alliance, which is a group of grassroots organizations that are really on the front lines of climate injustice. And Detroit is actually one of the hot spots for that. One of the things that the Climate Justice Alliance is doing is looking at how to fight extreme energy while at the same time building community resilience. So one example of such as citywide recycling, composting, things that are, and then mom and pop shops that would actually come up as a result of that. So maybe bike cooperatives that would be able to transport the compost to some of the urban farms, and actually looking at how our neighbors building a new economy that is for the neighborhoods, by the neighborhoods. And it's not, we really see that there's a need to change the way that communities are interacting with corporations, that we can no longer stand this extreme energy that we're seeing right now, and that's something that we want to see end. And Detroit's one of the hot spots. One of the other ones that's a hot spot is in Richmond, California. There's a Communities for a Better Environment and the Interpacific Environmental Network that's been fighting Chevron for many, many years, and many of you know in the news have seen about the explosions. And then the third hot spot is actually the Navajo Nation. So in New Mexico, they have had a long-standing fight with Peabody Oil, and what they're looking for as a community-based solution is around solar panels. And we're really seeing this space, so this space that's the Commons, as one of those solutions. That even though it's not always easy to be working together, it's essential to be able to create space. When you continue working together, you find spaces to work and struggle and find solutions that are built on real community solutions and are built from the ground up. So thank you all so much and welcome to the space.
I'd like to call someone who's been very active in this community on several different fronts, Brother Malik Yakini.
Welcome brother and sister, Brother Wenda and Sister Okon, representing the East and the West parts of Africa, and many of us feel a special attachment to Africa because of our common struggle and also because of our common heritage. So welcome to Detroit, which is historically a hotbed of struggle and resistance, and it continues to be that. I want to recognize a couple of my elders who are here in the room, starting with Brother Kwame Asadu, if you can just throw your hands up, and also Brother David Rambeau, who's been a teacher and a mentor for many years. I just want to recognize them because we stand on the shoulders of these giants in struggle, and I feel so fortunate to be part of this community, which has set an example for the nation and for the world of folks who are resisting oppression and trying to create a new world which is based on justice. So I represent the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network, and you might say, well, what does food have to do with the environment and climate change? Perhaps you didn't know that one of the biggest contributors to the carbon emissions in the atmosphere is the food system. The way food is currently grown with this industrial model, with factory farms and the use of pesticides and petroleum fertilizers, is a major contributor to the greenhouse gases. And then in addition to that, we have a runoff from agriculture, which is creating more than 120 what's called dead zones in the United States. Places such as at the base of the Gulf of Mexico, where the Mississippi River dumps into the Gulf of Mexico, where no aquatic life can survive because the water has been depleted of oxygen because of the runoff of the fertilizers that are used in industrial agriculture. And so as we're trying to create balance within the climate and trying to kind of counter this climate chaos that we see, one of the areas that we have to address is how food is grown. And so in addition to the petroleum additives that are used, in addition to the problem of runoffs, we also have this problem of food being transported thousands of miles around the world. For example, many people in Michigan like apples, and Michigan grows lots and lots of apples. But apples are imported to Michigan from places like New Zealand. And so by transporting food thousands and thousands of miles, we again contribute carbon to the atmosphere. And so as we're looking at how we create a climate that can work to sustain us and to sustain generations into the future, one of the serious areas we have to look at is how we're producing food and looking at how we can produce food closer to where populations are. Around the world, populations are shifting so that they're more concentrated in urban areas. And less we see people living in rural areas. So because people are concentrated in urban areas, we need to do much more growing of food in and around urban areas so that we don't have to transport food hundreds and thousands of miles and contribute all the carbon to the atmosphere. So I want to thank you on behalf of the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. Thank Sister Kua Budu Watkins for her tireless leadership. She's been out here on the front lines for many decades. And again, welcome my brother and sister here to Detroit. Thank you.
Right now, I'm a student at the University of Michigan, so a lot of my community organizing and justice work has been oriented around campus-related organizations affecting change in society. Some of them include being black at the University of Michigan is something that's recent going on. Also, students organizing against prisons is another project that I've worked on. Right now, I'm working with the YEA program, Young Educators Alliance, which is a program out of EMEAC. And so it's a youth-based program that is focused on scaling up youth leadership and really getting youth active and involved in social justice movements and developing their skills and really helping them engage with their environment and how they can